LEIGHTDICKEY.com. Do you have an event or occasion coming up that could use a special touch? Perhaps a wedding, a production, a show? Good! Then you're in luck. Hayley Moores is who you're looking for. Hayley is a makeup artist in the Toronto, Ontario area, specializing in bridal, glam, natural, and special effects. She's incredibly talented, professional, easy to work with, and has a personality that is second to none. To book Hayley Moores today, follow her on Instagram at mad_milash, that's MAD_MILASH, or email her at madmilash, again, that's MADMILASH @gmail.com. Book Hayley Moores today, you'll be glad you did. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. Do you find yourself reminiscing on what life was like when you were younger? Do your favorite songs, movies, and TV shows instantly take you back to a simpler time? Great! Then you're in the right place. Join me, Leigh Dickey, on my new web series and podcast, Yo Nostalgia, where I cover everything you grew up with. From films and toys to fads and trends, Yo Nostalgia has it all. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever podcasts are available. Follow along on social media at Yo Nostalgia Show to keep up on this time-traveling trip. Yo Nostalgia, breathing new life into your memories, available everywhere now. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. Do you enjoy good conversation? Are you a person with many passions? Perfect. Then the Beats and Speaks podcast is for you. Join me, Leigh Dickey, every Friday for stories and interviews about everyday life with everyday people about everyday things. Everyone has a story, and I just want to help them tell it. The Beats and Speaks podcast, your everyday life, everyday stories, everyday people, comedy and entertainment audio joyride. Subscribe and download on LEIGHTDICKEY.com, Leigh Dickey TV on YouTube, and your favorite podcast app. The Beats and Speaks podcast, available everywhere now. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. What's going on, everybody? Leigh Dickey here. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast. I will probably slip this in as a bonus show one of these weeks, but today I just wanted to tell you all about the new bonus show format and formula here on the Beats and Speaks podcast, because occasionally I do slip in more than one episode a week for you all, which means double the work, but I love doing this show. No big deal, but I figured I might as well just explain the new bonus show format and formula right here on the Beats and Speaks podcast. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you where you can find the Beats and Speaks podcast. Of course, you can find the Beats and Speaks podcast and its new episodes every single Friday on my official website, LEIGHTDICKEY.com, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and wherever podcasts are available. We're on YouTube as well under Leigh Dickey TV. Please do comment, like, share, and subscribe. Leave reviews and rate us 5 stars if you would to, please. And thank you if you want to follow along with me and the show. Follow on social media at Leigh T. Dickey. Send your comments, questions, and guest requests, and anything else that may come to your mind about the show and that you might want covered and want me to talk about to LeighTDickey@gmail.com, and we can go from there. Now that all that housekeeping is out of the way, let's get into me, yours truly, Leigh Dickey, explaining the new bonus show format right here on the Beats and Speaks podcast. Alright, so yes, the new bonus show format here on the Beats and Speaks podcast. How it works is, since I have pretty much stockpiled episodes and recorded episodes to get me right through that first Friday in July. Today is April 12th, and I have recorded episodes to cover right through the first Friday in July. The bonus shows, they will come out, and of course I'm going to stagger them in between the weekly episodes. So while I'm recording the weekly episodes to just get me through the upcoming weeks, and as I've already stated that I have episodes recorded and produced right through the first Friday in July as of this recording. Today is April 12th. And, occasionally I will throw in a bonus show. Like I did one just to tell you guys how I was managing through how the whole COVID-19 thing is affecting myself, my schedule, and how I'm dealing with it, and pretty much everybody else. I'm just trying to be as productive as I possibly can, and that was pretty much the message in that episode. But it is numbered episode 73.5 because I had already produced episode 73, I'd already released it, and episode 70, I had gotten episode 74 produced and released, and I didn't want to just sort of replace what was episode 74 with this how am I managing through COVID-19 and how it's affecting my schedule along with everyone else's. So I slipped it in as a bonus show. Normally, with the bonus shows in the past, they would just have the next number, like the next number in sequence. So if it was episode 50, if it was a bonus show, it was just going to be episode 51 or 52 or whatever, because I had stockpiled several episodes. I mean, at that point, by the time I recorded the How Am I Managing Through COVID-19 episode, I had probably enough episodes to get me through the end of April, which would have brought me to episode 77, I think. So those were already produced and recorded and just basically ready to be released. So if I were to just keep the regular numbering format, already having episode 74 in the can and ready to be released the following Friday, then it would have just messed things up sequentially for me, and it would have thrown everything out of whack. And I just decided that, okay, so we're going to slip it in because I've got pretty much at that point the next 3 or 4 episodes already produced. And as of this recording, I'm probably, as I said, I have episodes recorded to get me through the beginning of July, which probably will take me through episode 88 or 89 in the weekly format. I'd have to look at it again, but that's pretty much where we are at this point as of April 12th, 2020. And, with the bonus format going forward, because I've got so many episodes that are recorded or fully produced and ready to be released, the bonus format is going to be, oh, okay, well, this came up. Oh, okay, this seems interesting, but I have one ready to go for next Friday, for the following Friday. Let's slip this in as a bonus show. So the numbers will be, if it's a bonus show, it's going to be whatever the number was the previous week. So with, say, the COVID-19 episode, that was episode 73 and a half, 73.5, because the episode 73 was released the previous Friday. And that was an episode on Nintendo's strange and rare, weird Super Nintendo title, Earthbound. And I just didn't want to mess up the numbering sequence because I figured it would. I mean, I'd have to upload the files again on my website with a new numbering scheme, and I just didn't want to do that simply because some days, depending on how my laptop feels and how my Wi-Fi connection is, it can take a long time. It can take a while to upload the files to my own website or even to my hosting platform. And for those of you that are wondering what I use Spreaker to host all my podcasts: Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast, this show, the Beats and Speaks podcast, and my pop culture bi-weekly podcast, Yo Nostalgia. So I use Spreaker for all my shows. And sometimes it can take a while for the uploads to be completed, depending on how big the files are, just depending on how, my laptop feels or my Wi-Fi connection or a combination of all three. And I just didn't want to go back and start renumbering things because that would mean, especially on my website, that I'd have to remove the file, because you can download all the episodes for all my podcasts directly from my website, LEIGHTDICKEY.com. But that would mean I'd have to go back in, find the episode, and remove the file that is meant to be downloaded, and then renumber it, re-upload it, and save it all and publish it again. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't want to do that. It would just, for one, it would take a long time. It would take a lot more work for me to. It takes a lot of work to just upload the episodes themselves, but to renumber everything and to re-upload everything after I've got, weeks pretty much in the can and ready to go, it would just take way too long, and I don't need that on me. And I just figured that numbering them by halves, if they were bonus shows, like 73.5, I've got one coming up this coming Monday or tomorrow, which is April 13th. That's going to be a bonus show, so 75.5. And it just makes it easier. Okay, and then I can just, instead of, if I have to renumber every single episode because of how these bonus shows are going to be, or used to be structured, I can easily just slip one episode in, upload it, and then number it 75.5. And then I'll just tell you it's a special bonus show in like brackets or show notes or things like that. Yeah, that just makes it easier. And that's how I'd like to structure things going forward. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't think that in the middle of April I would be 3 months ahead of schedule in terms of the Beats and Speaks podcast. I didn't think I'd be recorded right up through the beginning of July at this point, but I am, and I'm happy for that. So the bonus show format going forward is going to be like the weekly episodes are already structured, they're already uploaded, they're already mixed, they're mastered, and they're ready to go. So, the bonus shows are just going to be marked in halves from here on out, and that's just how I'm going to keep them, because I plan on staying on top of things, and I plan on just moving ahead with the way the schedule is. That's just how it's going to be. We're going to mark the bonus shows in halves, and it's going to be easily legible so you can see it. It'll be marked in brackets and in the show notes. Welcome to a special bonus show, or episode 73.5, how I'm managing through COVID-19, in brackets, special bonus show. Or episode 75.5, the title of the episode, special bonus show, right? And I'll even announce it on my social media feeds at LEIGHTDICKEY beforehand, if that comes up, maybe a day or two beforehand, depending on how quickly I can record and publish and edit the episodes. So that's what the format for the bonus shows is going to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and are enjoying the show and the episodes that I have planned and that are already released. Thank you guys for hanging out. Please do comment, like, share, and subscribe. Find us on your favorite podcast app and player of choice. New episodes every single Friday on LEIGHTDICKEY.com. We're on YouTube as well under Leigh Dickey TV. Find us on your favorite podcast app and player of choice. Rate us 5 stars. Leave us reviews. Send your comments, questions, and anything else to LEIGHTDICKEY@gmail.com. Follow along on social media at LEIGHTDICKEY. But I have been Leigh Dickey. This has been probably a bonus show on the Beats and Speaks podcast, another episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your continued support. But we will see you next Friday for a brand new episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast. I'm Leigh Dickey. This has been the Beats and Speaks podcast, and I am signing off. Peace. LEIGHTDICKEY.com